Meanwhile, in Tupac news,
the shooting of Tupac Shakur once again underscores the violence that has surrounded this man since he shot the superstar.
4 people pulled up, opened fire. Shakur and Knight.
Tupac Shakur was shot several times in the chest. Shakur was pronounced dead.
MAKAVELI in this Illuminati, all through your body. The blows like a 12-gauge shot. Feel me?
Black cotton, rotten in arrests. Every day's a test. I stress protection where invest is your best.
Let you come down tomorrow and talk to man. You got a job, man. You got a job, man.
Only Gab can do it like this.
Most man is the right hand on Tupac Shakur's body.
No
if you know
shit,
anything, original member of Thug Life, a high school friend, a middle school friend, elementary school friend, he's all of these things. He lived with Tupac. He was a band member, a roommate, whatever you want to call him. He is the crown jewel of Tupac information.
I was thinking about Birdman. Put some respect on my name, man. I know this kid since 13 years old,
Put
bro.
some respect on it.
You know what I mean? Because, I'm here to preserve your legacy. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm here for. I talk to kids all over, man, about Pac. And I started off about this kid. And they don't know who I'm talking about. Who didn't have much. I was fortunate to be raised, my grandparents, old school, and
that's right.
Getting everything I wanted and needed, and then I met this kid who had a love for hip hop like I did, you know what I mean? And we became friends. We talking 13 years old, man, 13, 14, made a group, East Side Crew, from the East Side, is what it was about.
East side of Baltimore City, right?
Absolutely, Wilson Park, man.
Big up to the East Side, that's where I'm from. Big up to the West Side, too, though.
Yeah, no doubt. But it's real here, you know what I mean? Oakland, California reminds me a lot of Baltimore. But anyway, and this kid, man, who had this love and for hip hop, and he was like, "Yo, we're gonna do this shit," and he did it. You know what I mean? So
y'all did it.
I'm here to preserve that legacy, man. And that's what I'm here for.
Man, I thank God for you, man. I'm sure I'll speak for countless other fans out there. Thank God for you, Mouse, man. Hey, I'm so glad you brought up Mo Preem, man. Salute to Mo Preem, Shakur, Mo Preem, man. I got to talk to you, bro.
That's my guy, man. I've talked to Mo Preem at least a couple times a week, bro. That's how real that is.
Mo, I got nothing but love for you, homie. We're going to chop it up. But, you know what, man? You said something to me off air yesterday. And, I know you're like, Dad, what story was it? This is one that got me, man. Because, I have a deep affection for children,
Right.
And
absolutely.
You shared a story with me that Tupac used to have to staple his pants together. Because I guess he didn't have somebody that could sew it for him, or a mother that, could take time and, cuff his pants for him. He used a staple gun, Mouse?
Yo, he used to use, not a staple gun, a stapler. You know what I mean? Because his pants were too long. He would fold them over and staple them, right? But, and dudes used to make fun. And, like I said, I was raised old school. My grandmother like, yo, you ain't got nothing good to say. Don't say nothing.
Right.
And don't judge a book by its cover. Like, shit like that. That meant a lot to me. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because when Pac invited me to come out to Cali, I was about to go to college. And my grandmother wasn't having it. You feel what I'm saying? But anyway, so by me I was raised in a house with like 7 people. My mother, my aunt, my grandparents, my uncles they slang dope. So I had everything. I was the youngest, shit like that. And I would, give Pac clothes and whatever,
You looked out for him.
Yeah, it meant nothing to me because we had this love for hip hop, man. It was a great time to be alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even explain the feeling it was at the time, you know. And
right.
And I used to beatbox. Pac used to, you know. If you look at the Enoch Pratt Library, right, we had a joint, Babies Having Babies. We hooked up with Darren Bassfield later, and we were the East Side crew, became Born Busy. And because Darren was at the School of the Arts, we added him to the flavor. He came up with the name Born Busy. And, you know, that's where the Born Busy recordings come from and all that. But, you know, he was just a different kid, man. You know what I mean? And taught me a lot about Panthers, the struggle. And it was just so crazy just how talented, you know what I mean, he was, man. And it's like, you know, it's hard to, like I said, explain, man, and I miss him deeply, bro.
Yeah, and he was the diamond in the rough, man. And, you know, we got to give a shout-out to Speedy, too. I shared a story on J-Mix about Speedy cutting Pac's hand and y'all. It's funny because we met for the first time yesterday, and tell him, you know who Speedy was, right?
Absolutely. He came around the way a couple times. Like I said, Wilson Park was a tough little area. You know, there was a war going on at the time, a cave, another street.
And York, right, yeah.
Yeah, and Speedy was like, man, I need to go back where I'm from, bro.
Where we from?
It's a little too intense around this motherfucker. But, I mean, for us, yeah, it was the norm. You know, we had a recreation center, Mullen Rec, where we used to, you know, Park house on Greenmount his back door faced the rec, so, you know, we would sit on his back porch, write rhymes. Real quick, there's a game we used to play, man, called Who Could Write the Fastest Rhyme? And I contribute that to how fast the nigga wrote now, how people like, yo, Pac this, come in 20 minutes, write a verse. We used to play games, man, 10 minutes. Who could write the fastest verse? He used to crush me every time with the shit. But, you know, that contributes to that. You feel what I'm saying? And
yes, Lord.
Like I said, with the Born Busy film, what we're trying to do, you know, Baltimore, they skip over the hood and they talk about the School of the Arts, which the School of the Arts helped him to be himself. You know, and you can't take nothing from the School of the Arts. But Wilson Park, when we were there, man, we rehearsed every day. His years of development, focus, and purpose is what I call it. You know,
it happened with you, man. That's what we call still sharp and still. And you helped Tupac get down. One of the most incredible things you shared with me yesterday, man, was the generous heart Tupac had. You know, not just for the community, but for his friends too. Now, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I think he had a rough upbringing, you know what I mean? His story, man, is one of, you know, a Cinderella story, you know, that people couldn't understand unless they witnessed it like you. Well, you shared a story with me how Pac would actually pick his own staff after the movie companies and stuff. I just want to touch on that. We can go back to everything else, but just share that story with the public, man, because that moved me, man. That moved me.
We were doing Poetic Justice, and so Paramount had a staff, you know, like, okay, this is going to be your assistant, this is going to be your driver, this is going to be your such and such, so-and-so. So we said, okay, well, what if I don't like them? He said, well, you can just let us know, we'll get rid of them, we'll replace them for you. So they standing in front of us.
Who said that? Who said that for the record?
Somebody from Paramount was like, you know.
Okay, for the movie company, okay.
Yeah. So he said, well, what if I don't like them? He's like, well, you let us know, we'll replace them, whatever. He's like, okay. I don't like him. He never introduced himself, none of that. He was like, well, I got my own personal assistant, Mouse. I got my own driver. So it was crazy to us because it's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this is Paramount, whatever. Pac didn't give a fuck. He's like, yo, I got an assistant. I got a driver. So now, you know, 19, 20 years old, 21, working for Paramount now. You know what I'm saying? Because he done put the word and said, yo, that's not what I want.
He anointed you.
When we would get budgets for food for video shoots, he'd call Mike Cooley Mama, boy Man Mama out of Oakland. Yo, we need that budget.
and get that budget money to them, to his homeboy's parents. Come on, man.
Give it to mom and them. They cook up some shit that we want to eat for real. You feel what I'm saying? And then we have a couple thousand over to buy some Kush or some Chronic or something. And everybody happy, you know what I mean? But,
and that was a good way to keep money in your pocket too. He got y'all gigs and got y'all paid gigs.
But what I'm saying, bro, it's like we talking about Interscope, we talking about big ass companies. It's like, yo, you in that position, any other motherfucker would do what they say.
With the flow.
Okay,
right?
Yeah, like okay, all right. It was like, nah. Pac was like, yo, what the fuck you doing, bro? Like, nah, I ain't with that. You know what I mean? This is how I want it. And to hang up on motherfuckers. And they called back a couple hours like, okay, but he understood that at an early age, man. He had this foresight, man, that was incredible. And, nobody like him, bro, in the world,